It was time for us to start heading towards home. We took another trip through Ullapool on our way south, but then instead of turning towards Torridon and Applecross, we headed back towards Inverness, where we'd started the journey. Well, good morning. We had a pretty good night in Ardmair. It was nice and quiet. So yeah, this morning we've left the seaside and we've headed into the mountains. Just stopped off at this dam. So quite like looking at dams, like the sort of infrastructure, the sort of concrete nothingness in the middle of the nature. I'm rambling on a bit here, but you get the idea. Yeah, so we're back in the mountains and starting our journey back towards home. So got about a 4.5 hour drive today to stop just south of Glasgow. So yeah, we'll get on the road, see what we find between here and there, and catch you later. The dam was built in 1957 to create a 7-kilometre long reservoir. It's part of the hydroelectric power scheme which brings power to the Northern Highlands. Good that there was a park up here that we could stop. Looks like there's actually a van that stayed here overnight, and that would be probably a cracking place to spend the night. Passing through Inverness and then Perth, we finally made it to our destination for the night, the Strathclyde Country Park Caravan and Motorhome site just south of Glasgow. We couldn't be bothered to cook after all the travelling, and being close to a residential area meant that we could order in a delivery treat. Then it was time to hunker down for one final night in Scotland before heading back home. So guys, I think this is going to be our last check-in for this trip. Basically the rest of the day I think will be spent on the motorway, so probably nothing exciting to tell you about there. We've just stopped off at a very rainy Shap, just to give the dogs and ourselves a quick leg stretch en route home. As you can see, it's a bit wet, so not the most pleasant. The views aren't amazing at the moment, but a bit of fresh air. Stretch our legs, as I say, and hit the road again. So how have we found our trip to the north coast of Scotland? Well, basically it's been amazing. We've stayed at some really good campsites. We've seen some amazing beaches, some great scenery, the mountains, and we've basically spent the journey so far this morning talking about where we'd go back to and formulating a plan for that. So hopefully you've enjoyed coming with us on this trip. Maybe you've seen some places that you'd like to check out yourself. If you've got any questions, do pop them in the comments and we'll get back to you on those. But for now, I think we'll sign out for this trip and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Not entirely sure what these pants are doing, enjoying the scenery in Shap. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And if you haven't seen the rest of our videos on our trip round Scotland's north coast, check out the playlist linked below. Thanks for watching.